The drama of the Port of Beaumont reads like a treatise on how to succeed. Next year marks the 100th anniversary of incredible growth that made a 9-foot canal dug in 1908 into a 40-foot deep, 150 square mile phenomenon where Main Street meets the world.
We're excited all the time about the incredible economic development that is going on at the port, but not only that, the very presence of this port is central to our economy. You know, we are an economy built around this river. The Neches River is why we are here. But because of the port, we now are served by all the major railroads that serve the United States interstate highways, so we have an exceptional transportation system. I think personally, because I happen to have been privileged to serve as mayor in the mid-2000s, when we collaborated so closely with the Port of Beaumont in the lead up to the landfall of and the recovery from Hurricane Rita, the services of the port, which they gave for free to a number of governmental entities housing us during that incredible recovery time, just speaks to the community-based attitude of its board led by its chairman, Pete Shelton, and all the commissioners. It's been a very interesting development of different governmental entities with different boards, but all with a single purpose, and that is to ensure the continued economic growth of our area.
Timber and oil were among the first important cargo to put the Port of Beaumont on the map. But it was the Broussard family and Beaumont Rice that fueled the boom and have the distinction of being the port's oldest customer.
Our family has been in the rice business since 1892. We've been shipping rice from the Port of Beaumont since the turn of the century. My great-grandfather, Joseph Broussard, co-founded the Beaumont Irrigation Company, whose initial canal led to the formation of the Lower Neches Valley Authority. We've been successfully doing business with the Port of Beaumont since its beginning, and we're proud of the port and its positive impact on all of Southeast Texas.
Today, the port has a loading capacity of 80,000 bushels per hour for all types of bulk grain. In 1916, the channel was deepened to 25 feet, and an 1,100-foot turning basin was added, making the facility a true deep-water port. The first dock was opened in March of 1916. Subsequently, additional dock facilities were built by local businesses, and in the 1940s, the channel was deepened to its present depth of 40 feet. Among the local businesses seizing the opportunity for expansion was James J. Flanagan Stevedores and Shipping.
The growth of the port is the growth of Southeast Texas. The port has grown over 100-fold since its beginning. The port is involved in virtually every major industry in Southeast Texas. The facilities are continually expanding. Those that we have and those that the port is planning to bring on in the next few years. Together, they're the envy of the Gulf Coast. We have a long intertwined history with the port. My family immigrated from Ireland and loaded the first log rafts that were cut in East Texas and floated down the Neches River right here at the Port of Beaumont before the turn of the century. After that, we handled the first commercial ship when the port was formed in 1915, the SS Nicaragua, which was loaded with rice and lumber for Central America. And since that time, we've been involved with virtually every major shipment through the Port of Beaumont. The port is a business, and as I said, I think the port is deserving of this award. But as a business, it's grown 100-fold and reduced tax rates. I think it's a model of governance, and our commissioners should be commended.
The Port of Beaumont Navigation District was created in the 40s, and a 6-member board of commissioners, elected by the Navigation District voters, began functioning as the port's board of directors. Since the inception of the Port of Beaumont Navigation District, the port has steadily increased its facilities and capacities. The port now has more than 70 businesses, agencies, and organizations, including freight forwarders, customs brokers, stevedores, chandlers, ship repair services, and a complete menu of maritime facilities. 3 major rail carriers, 5 major roadways, and steamship lines representing nearly all of the nations of the world serve the Port of Beaumont. The addition of a loop train track allows companies to unload up to 300,000 barrels of crude oil from train cars each day. $28 million have been invested in rail improvements, including upgrades to the newest facility in Orange County. The utilization of 250 acres on the east side of the Neches provides the new home of Jefferson Energy Terminal.
We came to Texas because energy was what we wanted to do. It's very difficult to find prime property on the waterway, on the river. And so we went on the hunt, and we were fortunate enough, lucky enough to find this property that you can see behind me. The port embraced our business plan such a way that they not only supported what we were trying to do, they also invested money. They contributed probably close to $50 million to develop this project. So they made an investment. They helped develop the property, the infrastructure, and when we saw that, we said, that's for us, that's where we want to be. We've built a crude by rail terminal. We are served by 3 Class A railroads, the BN, the UP, and the Kansas City Southern, KCS. So I've made it my business to make sure that we hire wherever we can in the community. An incredible source of talent in Southeast Texas. And I think I work hard, and I know that the people that work for us work every bit as hard or harder. So the work ethic here has been remarkable. Certainly the terminal is a world-class facility. I think it's going to be, and has every potential of being, the best in class in the United States. And I want to make that happen for us, for the port who supported us, as well as for the community.
On the eve of its 100th anniversary, the Port of Beaumont is the headquarters for the 842nd Transportation Battalion of the United States Army Surface Deployment and Distribution Command. The newly appointed commander is Lieutenant Colonel Brad Bain.
The Port of Beaumont is extremely important to Department of Defense and the United States Army due to its strategic location down here on the Gulf Coast. But what makes the Port of Beaumont even more special is the way we're treated here. As a tenant here in the Port of Beaumont, the importance and priority that is placed on our mission here through the port authorities, and also just the people here at the port and Beaumont in general are just very, very supportive, and we feel honored to be here.
Our port is the busiest military port in the world. It is an international public seaport and ranks 4th in the United States as ranked by tonnage of cargo. Brian Hill, Gateway Director for the U.S. Maritime Administration, recently visited the port and gave his perspective on the outstanding performance and growth of the Port of Beaumont.
First of all, for national security purposes, the Port of Beaumont is the nation's largest military outload port, which means they handle more military ships and more military cargo in support of overseas wars than any other port in the United States. And one other thing that most people don't know about the Port of Beaumont is that it is the 3rd or 4th largest port in the United States based on tonnage. The Port of Beaumont moves more petroleum products than just about any other port in the United States, and it supports a lot of economic activity related to that. And has 2,000 jobs directly on the Port of Beaumont, hundreds of millions of dollars in economic activity locally and nationally. So it's an important regional job creator, and it's an important supporter of the national security of the United States.
The Port of Beaumont is a great jobs creator, providing 3,700 jobs and generating more than $250 million in economic impact. The continued growth of the Port of Beaumont has been accomplished with the support of some very important individuals and companies. Under the guidance of Bill Scott, Transglobal Solutions has distinguished itself over several decades.
TGS has enjoyed working with the Port of Beaumont since 1975. Over 41 years of service. We've enjoyed watching the port evolve and improve over the years. The Port of Beaumont, we've had business dealings with 4 public ports, and out of the 4, the Port of Beaumont is one of the ones that we've enjoyed working with the most, because they have a first-class operation. Their staff has been excellent to do business with, and the commissioners have been a joy to get to know and to do business with over the last 41 years.
The port's master facilities plan, approved by the Board of Commissioners in 2014, includes $500 million in improvement to the port and the creation of thousands of new jobs. Recognizing the importance of the Port of Beaumont and its promise for the future, Lamar University has created a new degree in port management.
Universities prepare special items that they think might be attractive for funding. Well, here we are in Lamar. Here we have this port that moves some of the largest tonnage in the country, particularly in the military space. It made complete sense to me that we want to find a way to partner with the port. So I began doing some research to identify, well, what kind of partnerships are there between universities and ports? Well, the maritime programs, which are predominant across the country, there are a number of them, but there is nothing in the area of port management and how you secure business and how do you work with industry, how do you work in the international context, how do you interface with all the stakeholders and then actually have a degree product in port management. We've received tremendous support from the port and the other stakeholders, the waterway districts and a variety of other folks, and frankly, I'm excited about where this is going. This is a great opportunity for Beaumont and Lamar.
In addition to being a dynamic economic engine, the Port of Beaumont has distinguished itself in its humanitarian service and its efforts to be an outstanding corporate citizen.
Well, the port's a vital part of our community of Southeast Texas for the economic impact it's had on our area. But beyond that is an organization that has reached into our community and has changed the lives of those who need it the most. The port has been a long-time supporter of United Way, and the employees of the port have helped us keep kids in school. They've helped us feed those who were hungry. They've provided shelter to those who were homeless. We're proud to have worked with the port in reaching our community in ways in which they are not as well known. The employees of the port want to ensure that everyone in our community has the opportunity to prosper, and we're proud that they've partnered with United Way to help us do that.
Our church supports about a dozen social service agencies, and one of those agencies that we support is the Seafarers Center. It's based in the Port of Beaumont. In fact, the port gives the Seafarers Center their building and their utilities, and then they raise their own budget. What would it be like to be a sailor from another country, from halfway around the world, perhaps without language gifts of English, and you needed basic necessities of life, or you needed a phone call to your family, or you needed someone to talk to? I've become familiar with the ministry of the Seafarers Center. It's a far-flung ministry that starts in vessels in the Port of Beaumont and goes around the world. I really can't say how much we appreciate as a congregation and as citizens of the city of Beaumont that the Port of Beaumont supports the Seafarers Center in such a vital ministry to sailors here from around the world.
The Port of Beaumont is now preparing for the completion of the expansion of the Panama Canal and the deepening and widening of the Sabine-Neches Waterway. These two monumental events will occur soon and mean greatly expanded business potential. With 100 years of experience and strong leadership, the Port of Beaumont is ready and well prepared to meet all challenges and to continue its unique position as the powerhouse where Main Street meets the world.